As we embark on today's exploration with Adrian, delving into the realms of social commerce and the innovative use of AI, let's take a moment to reflect on our own ventures.
Again, probably like a lot of the folks who listen to this podcast, I always find momentum very important. And that's a lot of times there's a big hurdle in that, but it's a very powerful force in business.
Let this be a call to action to broaden your horizons and seek out those game changing insights and partnerships.
I don't know with a dollar or an amount or a number, I don't know that we can, to be
Mhm.
perfectly honest. But we do know and believe that strategic advisors are very important. So we have an amazing advisory board.
Right.
Our advisory board is made up of some former client, consumer packaged goods, ex-Google, Amazon, Walmart, Twitter. They've been on the platform side, client side, pro athletes, folks with a lot of investment experience, technology experience.
Your journey from concept to execution with BILI really highlights the resilience and the strategic thinking essential for success in today's digital landscape, which is constantly evolving. Hi everyone, this is Maheen and welcome to the CanadianSME Small Business Podcast, where today's episode promises to be a journey into the heart of innovation and transformation in the small business landscape. Now, we're dedicated to shining a light on the pivotal role of small businesses in our communities and the critical importance of supporting local ventures. Now, in this particular episode, we will explore social commerce, the impact of AI on brand efficiency, and the intriguing intersection of social commerce and professional sports. And today, we're thrilled to have Adrian Capobianco, the CEO and co-founder of BILI, BecauseILoveIt.com, joining us. Adrian is a visionary leader in advertising, media, and technology with a rich background in driving revenue growth and fostering a high-performance culture. His work at BILI is at the forefront of social commerce and content, collaborating with social media creators to revolutionize how products and services are marketed and sold. Adrian, we're very pleased to have you on this show today. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful, Maheen. Thanks for having me here.
Very excited, and we're very eager to first delve into your expertise and really learn about the innovative work that you're doing with BILI. As we embark on today's exploration with Adrian Capobianco, delving into the realms of social commerce and the innovative use of AI, let's take a moment to reflect on our own ventures because each insight shared today is a potential seed for transformation within your own business. And as Adrian unfolds his journey and strategies, please consider the parallels in your own business model. Now, embarking on an entrepreneurial journey, Adrian, especially in the fast paced tech sector, is both challenging and exhilarating. Um, could you share the story behind founding, BILI, and what inspired you to enter the world of social commerce?
Good question. Good question. So I think probably like a lot of folks who listen to this podcast, the inspiration to found it was both of opportunity and
Mhm.
necessity. My co-founder Howard and I, as we were chatting about various business opportunities at the beginning of the pandemic, we started to talk about the ways that traditional business distribution was being disrupted and opportunities to connect businesses with consumers.
Mhm.
For context, my background is former CEO or executive at global ad agencies, so very accustomed with using various media tactics to raise awareness of products or services, sell products or services, and have been working with the social media space for several decades.
Right.
But really, during the pandemic, the opportunity became, like I said, both necessity and opportunity scaled up.
That's amazing. We love the inspiration and the motivation behind you finding the platform. Now, what were some of the initial hurdles that you faced, and how did you overcome them?
Again, probably like a lot of the folks who listen to this podcast, I always find momentum
Mm.
very important. And that's a lot of times there's a big hurdle in that, but it's a very powerful force in business. When you get the right people, the right team, the right clients, and you start to build that momentum, it's hard to build at first because you're fighting inertia.
Mm.
But once you get that, it starts to roll and it starts to go. So, really, I'd say that probably one of the biggest challenges is momentum around awareness of our business, momentum around earning trust of new clients and building on those, momentum around bringing in investors, momentum across scaling our platform across North America.
Right.
That's really one of the biggest challenges, but once you get it going, it can be pretty good.
This is amazing. Now, your journey from concept to execution with BILI really highlights the resilience and the strategic thinking essential for success in today's digital landscape, which is constantly evolving. Now let's focus on the social commerce and AI,
Yeah.
Adrian, because integration of AI into social commerce is transforming how brands interact with their audience. How is AI enhancing the efficiency and the effectiveness of brands and creators on social media platforms?
It's impacting in a lot of different ways, but maybe before jumping into the complexities of AI, it might be beneficial for the listeners to make sure we're on the same page in terms of the context that we're talking about when we say social content and social commerce. So when we're talking, our mission at Billy is to make the connection between brands and social media influencers
Mhm.
more efficient and more effective. So at the end of the day, how do we help a brand connect with an influencer or creator? We use both those names. How do we help a brand connect with an influencer to raise awareness of the products or sell those products?
Right.
And that's two different spaces. So when we talk about influencers and creators in social media, there's the social content side and there's the social commerce side.
Hmm.
So, for context, the social content is a creator, an influencer or creator on TikTok or Instagram. They create that content, they put that out there. We work with one of your sponsors, for example, as a client, RBC, and they want to create awareness of programs that they're running. So, we find the right influencers to create that content and share that on social media.
Right.
That's the social content side. The other is the social commerce side, and that's the actual selling of products and services. Um, and there's a lot of different ways that happens. So within your original question of how do we leverage AI or where that's going, there's really a couple different ways, three primary ways. One, finding creators.
Hmm.
Two, matching creators and brands. And three, creating content.
Right.
So in North America, there's an estimated 7 million influencers or creators. We have data on every single one.
Hmm.
When we're working with a brand to find that right creator, we use AI to filter from 7 million down to a few hundred.
Hmm.
And that AI leverages things like demographics, interest, various topics, psychographics, brand affinity, all that sort of stuff. So AI really does 99% of the work for filtering and finding the right creators. So that's one.
Hmm.
Number two is, as I said, to help match creators and products. So we have a commerce platform with a few hundred brands, thousands of products. Our AI helps match creator interest with products to put them together.
Right.
And then the third one is to help create content. We leverage AI, to use a sports analogy, more for the assist, not for the goal.
Hmm.
So if you're an influencer and you want to create content, and you want to create content for a brand or product, to do research the brand, the product, to do that well, it probably takes you about a half hour, 30 minutes. Or you can use Billy AI, and our AI platform will write that content for you.
Right.
And that takes about 30 seconds. Now, it's not 100% perfect, but it's about 80% good.
Hmm.
And we've tested that AI enhanced content versus influencer only content, and it actually has generated 28% more engagement. So that means that AI enhanced content gets 28% more likes, shares, views, comments. So really, we've leveraged AI in three different ways to find the right creators, to match creators and brands, and help creators develop content.
That is amazing. No, this was very useful, and thank you so much for breaking that down for us, Adrian. Now, if you were to build on this a bit more, like what can you give us like an example of a very successful campaign that leveraged AI for social commerce?
I think that the example, like we tested, we knew we could use AI to create content faster. We didn't know for sure that we could use it to create content better,
Mm.
right? So as I said, we tested. I think that's a really good example of where we leveraged AI to actually test that, where creators just develop content and within a control scenario, we had the AI enhanced content, and
Right.
that AI enhanced content got 28% more likes, comments, shares. So
Mhm.
for our clients, for example, the reason that's relevant is that content, they're not paying to leverage our Billy AI. It's part of the service they get from us. But what that means is the content that's created for them gets 28% greater performance.
Got it.
So that's what makes it relevant for them. And for the influencer, they get 28% more engagement. So it's really good to kind of tie back to our mission is to make the connection between brands and creators more efficient and effective. It delivers on exactly that.
That's a win-win. I would say that. No, the synergy that is between AI and social commerce that you've described, it really opens up new avenues for brands to connect with their customers more meaningfully. Now, global markets, they can provide such valuable insights into emerging trends and strategies. Based on your recent experiences in Asia, Adrian, what
Yeah.
key learnings can North American businesses apply, especially in the social commerce?
Yeah, it's a great question. I'm going to talk about one in particular, and that's the projected growth in social commerce in North America. But I'm gonna back up a little bit for a second. But to kind of jump to the headline here, in North America over the next 12 to 18 months, year to year and a half, we're going to see a doubling of social commerce dollars transacted.
Right.
But let me back up for a second for the podcast listeners or viewers. And it's really, why is social content, social media relevant?
Mm-hmm.
So if we take a look, so globally, social commerce in 2024 was estimated to be about 1.7 trillion dollars globally.
Wow.
Massive number. It's kind of almost too big for a small enterprise, medium enterprise to kind of wrap their head around it. But the thing is, even with that 1.7 trillion, by the next 12 to 16 months, that number is estimated to double. So there will be more people spending more time transacting more dollars in social media.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know actually the average time a social media user spends, or average time a North American spends on social media daily? The number is kind of mind-boggling.
10 hours.
10 hours a day. That would be,
Those-
but most of every waking hour. So it's not that high, but it's almost 2.5 hours.
Okay.
The average user spends almost 2.5 hours on social media every day. That's across all demographics.
Okay.
Younger demographics may be closer to 10 hours, certainly
Maybe
on
I
weekends.
exaggerated.
Yeah. Maybe that's an insight into your social media habits. But if you think about for the viewers of the podcast, the average audience spends over 2 hours a day on social media, which is sort of mind-boggling.
It is.
What that means is, for most of these businesses, social media is the single most relevant and used channel.
Right.
So that makes it very, very important. But to go back to your original question of what trends have we seen from Asia that are going to apply to North America, a lot of my investors are from Asian markets. A lot of our investors are from Asian markets.
Mm-hmm.
And part of the reason is that they've seen the opportunities, the growth, and the scale in Asia, which
Right.
is a bit ahead of North America.
Mm-hmm.
Some would estimate 2 to 4 years.
Okay.
The big difference is structurally in Asia versus North America is that within the social platforms, users, you and I, can trade dollars, can transact dollars.
Mm-hmm.
So through WeChat, Alipay, etc.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine, WhatsApp is a very used platform for communication in North America. Imagine you and I are in a WhatsApp group with 20 other people. You could say, hey, I love this product, I love this service, and you could have a link in there to buy. And people could actually buy from you in WhatsApp,
Right.
trade dollars to a wallet. Now, that doesn't happen in North America yet, but it does in Asia. The major trend that we're going to see is this bit of an unraveling. And the first domino has fallen on this in North America. So about 4 weeks ago, X announced a partnership with Visa,
Okay.
where they will create wallets within X, which is formerly Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
So that means if you have an X account, you can have a wallet in there with dollars in there, and users will be able to trade dollars back and forth. Others will follow.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to unravel a major structural change for businesses, small and large. It actually benefits smaller businesses a bit better because the costs of distribution come right down. You don't need to
Does.
open a storefront. You don't need to do big retail partnerships. Influencers and creators can become almost micro retailers for you.
Mm.
That is going to change significantly over the next year. We've seen where those trends go in Asia. Actually, traditional e-commerce has actually dropped in Asia, and social commerce is coming up and taking a big share of that. That's going to be a big change over the next year.
Thank you so much for highlighting such where the world is, kind of moving. But how do these insights influence your approach? I mean, BILI's approach or strategy and offerings.
Well, it's part of our job as experts in the field to, understand where these global trends are going, understand where the trends are going in Canada and the US, and help keep our partners, our client partners, ahead of them. So, with that example with, individuals being able to transact dollars,
Mhm.
that's not happening yet in North America. But when we're working with our brand partners, what we're doing is we're starting to pilot projects for them.
Right.
So it's maybe a few percent of what they're doing, But as this starts to unlock, in 12 months from now, they're not scrambling to try to figure it out. They already have learnings, they already have data, they already have experience. So it's really our job to be at the forefront, to help educate and inform, and to help work with our clients and our partners to keep them ahead of the trends.
No, this ability of yours to translate global trends into regional actions, they offer such a roadmap for businesses that are looking to stay competitive and ahead in the social commerce world. In a business environment that's increasingly interconnected, the perspectives we choose to adopt can set us apart. Let's take a pause to consider who are the strategic advisors in your orbit and how are you tapping into the global trends to inform your local strategies. Let this be a call to action to broaden your horizons and seek out those game changing insights and partnerships. Let's take a short break here, and when we return, we'll dive deeper into the importance of strategic advisors and how they can influence a company's growth.
Hey, you think you know UPS? Yeah, that's us. Everybody knows that. You know what you didn't know? This. Okay, try to keep up. Ocean, us. Ground, rail, air, so us. Guess who? Us. Customs cleared, borders cleared, done. Us. You still with me? Wait for it. Boom. Us. Intelligent, automated, fulfillment. Us. Yep, healthcare too. Digital your thing? Yeah, well, book it, ship it, track it. You feeling me yet? Yep, that's all us. That's all UPS.
At IHG Hotels and Resorts, we're in the business of you.
We're here to help you plug in,
connect, and recharge.
Make an impression,
and meet with confidence.
With 19 brands built for business,
your business gets even more rewarding.
With an award-winning loyalty program at 6,000 IHG hotels and resorts worldwide.
Welcome back, everyone. We're now transitioning into a critical aspect of business strategy, which is leveraging the expertise of strategic advisors to guide decision-making and growth. Adrian's experience, we're eager to learn and delve deeper into this topic. Now, Adrian, in this ever-evolving landscape of businesses, having the right guidance can pivot a company's trajectory, towards unprecedented success. From your vast experience, how do you quantify the value of strategic advisors in driving a company's vision and execution, and what criteria should businesses consider when selecting these pivotal partners?
That's a pretty big question. So the question of how do I quantify, or how do we quantify the value of advisors? I don't know with a dollar or an amount or a number. I don't know that we can, to be perfectly honest. But we do know and believe that strategic advisors are very important. So we have an amazing advisory board.
Right.
Our advisory board is made up of some former clients, consumer packaged goods, ex-Google, Amazon, Walmart, Twitter. They've been on the platform side, client side, pro athletes, folks with a lot of investment experience, technology experience. Really, the way we look at the opportunity with our advisors is our strategic advisors is really that. It's strategic, it's not tactical.
Mm-hmm.
And think about, where we fill in our gaps, right? So, we have experience and knowledge in a lot of areas, but we also have gaps.
Right.
So our advisors help fill those gaps. Our advisors act as a sounding board. Our advisors help open the door, help warm conversations. And really sometimes our advisors even just gut check. We said, we'll send out a proposal for a client to an advisor to take a look at, or ask an advisor to make a friendly call to someone to warm it up. There's a lot of different ways. It's very hard to quantify. If I look back personally at my own career, I don't think I know I didn't make enough use of strategic advisors, of mentors earlier on. I probably would have benefited from it. And I know our advisory board is amazing right now. It's something we really value and appreciate their input.
Yeah, this is great. And the insights that you've shared on the critical role of strategic advisors, it really eliminates the importance of external expertise in navigating business complexities and really achieving those long-term objectives. Now, Adrian, the digital marketplace is constantly shaped by the emerging trends that dictate the future of social commerce. I know that we touched base on a couple earlier.
Yeah.
But what are some of the current trends that in social commerce that you believe brands need to be aware of to stay competitive and stay relevant?
I think the biggest trend we've already touched on, and that's going to be
Right.
the growth of social commerce in North America. That's one to absolutely keep an eye
Mhm.
on. That's at a macro level, a pretty big level. Tactically, where there's a lot of changing trends, is in the actual platforms themselves, right? So, and this is where sometimes for a small business owner or medium business enterprise, it's sometimes difficult to kind of stay on top of these things. But if you take, for example, Twitter changed to X.
Right.
Meta, which owns Facebook and Instagram, launched Threads, which is the fastest growing social platform out there. There's questions around TikTok ownership, whether it'll continue to operate, where that's going to go. So there's a lot of moving parts there, but the important part is to kind of understand the nuances of these. For most small and medium enterprises, the number one social platform that they should likely pay attention to is LinkedIn.
Right.
As a business owner, connecting with your clients, understanding what's going on, that's probably the most relevant one. But then there's also kind of the trends of understanding where these platforms are going, and getting close to influencers or creators who operate across multiple platforms helps eliminate the need for a business owner to understand exactly what's going on in Threads or exactly what's going on in TikTok and what the trends are. Leverage the creators as content partners to understand the day-to-day trends, what's going on, what's interesting, what's trending. Use them for that and have them carry your message within the platforms.
No, this foresight into the evolving trends of social commerce, it offers a valuable perspective for our listeners, providing them with really the knowledge to innovate and adapt in this dynamic space. Now, Adrian, before we conclude, this has been such an enlightening conversation, by the way, with you. I'd like to ask you for your sage advice for our listeners who are navigating the complexities of the digital market, particularly in social commerce. What key advice would you offer to help them thrive?
Yeah. I would say two things: one, test, and two, data. So, for a lot of folks, social media can be somewhat daunting, uncertain.
Right.
How it works, what it is. So, just test a little bit. Make sure you have all your profiles for your business, and spend a little bit of time every day. See what your competitors are doing.
Right.
See what your audience is doing. Spend a little bit of time there. That's just the test. Very easy. And the other one is try to get access to data. So, if you have a LinkedIn profile, you can look at your audience analytics. If you have a Instagram profile, you can look at your audience analytics. We have tons of data. We help our partners out to access that. I mean, if there's businesses here that would like an audit on their social profiles, they can connect with us on Instagram at BILI Social or at Because I Love It, BILI Social on LinkedIn, and connect with us. And our team might be able to help provide a free audit of their social handles. It provides a little bit of data. And with this data, you start to understand who your audience is,
Right.
the age, the demographics, the locations, the interest. And a lot of times that provides inspiration and ideas for how these businesses can create content or take advantage of social content and social commerce to raise awareness of their business and sell their products.
This is amazing. Super useful. As we near the conclusion of our insightful session with Adrian Capobianco, let's reflect on the transformative power of our social commerce and the pivotal role of technology in shaping the future of our businesses. Let's challenge ourselves to think creatively, leverage our technologies, and your next breakthrough moment could be just that one strategic pivot away. Adrian, thank you so much for sharing such invaluable insights and for joining us on the show today. I mean, your perspective on social commerce, the transformative role of AI, and of course, the lessons from the global markets. It will provide our listeners with a wealth of knowledge that they can apply to their own ventures as well. So thank you for your time.
Thank you very much for having me. Have a great day.
The journey of BILI under Adrian's leadership serves as an inspiring blueprint for integrating cutting-edge technologies and global insights into practical regional strategies for growth and engagement. We really extend our heartfelt thanks to our guests as well as to our partners RBC, UPS, IG, and Google for their unwavering support of the Canadian SME Small Business Podcast. We hope that today's episode episode has inspired you to explore new possibilities in social commerce and to consider the strategic moves that can propel your business forward in this digital age, please remember to subscribe to the podcast at CanadianSME.ca for more inspiring stories, strategies, and insights that help you chart your path to success.